With the DLC weapons done, it's time to get back some more usual fare with the lightning bolt, the primordial power of nature at your fingertips. And, look, I'm gonna level with you here. I don't think this is a very good weapon, and the reasons for that will become apparent very quickly. But the basics behind the weapon are you hold down the attack button and shoot out lightning. Hold down long enough, turns yellow, and you start to do critical damage. Hold down even longer than that, and you start to take damage. It's a very unique function of the weapon to potentially do more damage to yourself than you are doing to enemies, at least if you aren't exercising the utmost caution. But, you know, despite the fact that it has the range of a tactics weapon, the way that you have to be planted perfectly still to use it, yeah, you can't be moving around at all when you're using this, the way it has a huge wind-up time when you're trying to get criticals, and hell, even the way that you can take damage, you know, something that would definitely benefit from having a lot of extra health, does make it seem like maybe this should be a more, say, survival-based weapon. And if you thought that, you would be absolutely correct, because up until very recently, it was in fact a tactics survival scaling weapon, but has since been changed to pure tactics for reasons that I honestly don't understand. So yeah, a weapon that I was already found pretty questionable to take even in the best of circumstances has now become the worst stat on 5-cell mode for me. Well, the only usable with the worst stat on 5-cell mode for me. Yeah, it's, that's kind of the long and short of it. But, you know, hey, this is a showcase run, and this is not a normal run by any stretch of the imagination. No, this is all about trying to get something to work even if I don't think it's going to be very good. I certainly had a lot of weapons surprise me in the past. Whether it's stuff like the grappling hook or even the phaser, which I know a lot of people might have liked, but that never really struck me until I started to do more runs with them. So who knows, maybe like the DPS is going to be super great and I won't even have any sort of worries about accidentally overloading myself with too much power and dying from that a little bit later on. But there is one area right now that I do know is, well, I guess I can't say definitely, are you kidding me, from right off screen. There is one area that, well, I guess I can't really say that it's definitely going to work out very well, but very likely to work out well, and that is the DLC boss. Because the DLC boss has the unique distinction of being the only boss that is partially submerged in water, and water gets a lot of benefits from using an electrical weapon in it. It'll stun enemies, keeping them in place if you hit them with it, and preventing them from attacking you. It will also deal constant critical hits on enemies, even if I don't have my lightning bolt fully charged up, or if you're using, say, another one of the other lightning-based weapons, giving it a critical hit if it didn't previously have one. And that's stuff like the magnetic grenade, or even the electrocutes enemies affix, which is not even a weapon. It's just a way to get a little bit of extra damage, and that will still get critical hits despite that. So I thought, you know, hey, I want to try out this weapon specifically because I know it's likely to be very good against the Mama Tick. I mean, it's not... It is still the first boss, and hey, worst comes to worst, if you're worried about the first boss, go up against Concierge. But hey, who knows? Maybe there's still... Maybe you want to get into the graveyard or something. There's certainly reasons why you would be going through fighting the Mama Tick, even if the Concierge might be a better option in a lot of ways. And having a really good weapon to go up against that. I mean, sure, I'm going to still need to worry about getting through the scythe second phase beginning, but aside from that, I might be able to just take her out without any issue at all. I mean, we'll see. It's something that I'm definitely going to be paying attention to over the course of this, because I'm looking for any silver lines when it comes to using this weapon. It's unique. It's a very unique weapon, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's very good. I mean, one of the other things that it has against it is the very little tracking. You pretty much have to... It can go up and down a little bit, but you have to pretty much shoot at anything directly directly in front of you, and that's about it. And the way that you need to hold still, there's just so many problems. But I'm still holding out hope. I still think there's a real possibility that this is going to surprise me. Main hands aren't always necessarily the most damage that you're going to get out of a tactics run anyway. Could be mostly getting damage out of like turrets, and just a little bit of extra electricity out there to supplement that might work out just fine. Might be the sort of thing that when I can start to use this, the damage might be even better than something like the magic missile, for example. I mean, magic, that is a hidden stat in the game. Well, it's not even a real stat. It's not even like a hidden stat. It's just something that you got to think about. Because sure, a weapon might have a DPS rating, but DPS is only dependent on the fact that you are going to be hitting the enemy. Something that makes Magic Missile so good is the fact that you can almost always be hitting the enemy. It will instantly track onto enemies and hit them constantly at all points in time. Something like the Scythe, for example, or Lightning Bolt that I'm using right now, you're gonna have a lot harder time trying to get yourself into a position where you can sit still and shoot out lightning, or sit still and get the huge giant swing that you need to get out to use the Scythe properly, and especially to get the critical hits on the Scythe properly. And that does affect its, theoretical damage per second. That's why there is a big difference between something like Magic Missile, which by all accounts should be a very milquetoast, nothing weapon, but suddenly becomes one of the best tactic scaling weapons that you can possibly get. That's the sort of thing that I am a little bit worried about here, but if the damage is right, and I mean it is 2,000 versus Great Owl of War, which is doing 281. Wow, that is much less, actually. Maybe this is going to work out. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hey, I made a reference to it at the very start, but lightning weapons they can be powerful, but they're always a double-edged sword type of thing. And I'm making references to it at the beginning. A primordial power of nature is how Lightning Bolt is described in Noita. And I want to throw that in there because this weapon does have a lot of comparisons to be made. Both being extraordinarily powerful, at least God, I can only hope it's going to be the case with this weapon. Both being ones that you can hurt yourself very easily with. It's just, Noita, on the other hand, really just requires you to get electricity and explosion immunity, and it becomes something that you can finish the game with, but also something that suffers a lot in terms of DPS by the time you might be getting to New Game Plus or post-game type of content. While this just is hard to use, but maybe the DPS is going to be second to none. This is definitely something that I should have done a little bit of a comparison, shopping around with other weapons. In fact, you know what? I can do this right now. Yeah, that's right. We're going to step outside of the run for a second to take a look at the DPS. Okay, Lightning Bolt. 114. Electric Whip somehow does even more than that. Huh. But, yeah, it's higher than most stuff. Well, comparable to the Sonic Crossbow, which is not great. 111, 114. But it doubles when you start to get the actual critical going on. So, I don't know. Maybe? Anyway, let's keep going here. Yeah, that's right. I just did that. Pulled a full-on Northern Lion. Anyway. We'll see. We'll see. I know other games, I know the various licensed Dungeons & Dragons game always came with any sort of electric-based weapon. Great DPS, but it would also bounce and potentially hit you as well as your enemy. Very similar sort of deal to this, isn't it? And I know that was something that did get me killed maybe more than a few times in Baldur's Gate. So, hey, at least I'll say this. It is very true weapon to its roots. For better or for worse. I really do want to see this weapon be good. I mean, this also is a weapon that does have a history on the channel. The very first challenge run was done with... Oh, there's another guy up here. I didn't even notice that. This was the very first challenge run that I ever did on the channel. Lightning Bolt. Do not go watch it. I know you're thinking, it's like, oh, maybe I'll do like a compare... Don't. It's bad. That was like literally the first time... Yeah, sure. For more stats. That was like literally the first time that I recorded myself talking for a pretty decent amount of time on the channel, and boy, oh boy, does it show. But it's like, you know, I want that to be good because of that. Would make me feel better to know that I started out the channel essentially with something that's very strong and something that's still very usable, but it's still yet to be seen. I don't know. I mean, it could also be something that it's just very good against a boss. I can even imagine something like the Giant going down pretty quick with something like this, because the Giant, certainly you can't just sleep on that fight, but you do get a lot of opportunities to just stand still. Even in like the crystal phase, there's a good amount of time where that will happen just based on the fact that if you happen to be taking Masochist alone. I don't know. I mean, trying to theory craft some stuff, but bosses are always something that I kind of plan for when it comes to any one of these runs. More often than not, the route that I take is based off of what weapons I think will do the best against what bosses, or if something is thematically appropriate, but you know, that's not fair in a lot of ways. We'll see. I mean, I'm hesitant. I'm also optimistic. So what else? What else? Tactical retreat, maybe? I mean, certainly tranquility could be good. Networking is useless here. Let's just go crow's foot. Keep an enemy far away from you, and you will be able to nail them with quite a bit of electricity before they can even start to attack you. At least that's the working theory. Either way, the caltrops are always a pretty good take when it comes to tactics. Oh wow. I mean, I'm not going to be using the meat skewer as it is. I'm not going to be using the rhythm and bazooki either, but just for right now. Just because, hey, they're roughly equal in how I am not going to be using them. It's just going to be stat caddy, because otherwise it would take away a little bit too much from the whole lightning bolt deal that I'm trying to do. Why do I keep making those noises? I gotta stop making those noises. Anyway. Yeah, you know, other people might like scream and yell when it comes to YouTube. I just make like baby sounds. Anyway. Let's continue on here. Colorless weapon, I'm not too worried about, but I'm trying to think, like, what would be some good actual electricity in water usage here, too. One of the few places that you're going to get a lot. Stunning them, taking them down real easy. I mean, the DPS is definitely here to make sure that that sort of thing happens. It's just, the way I play the game is not one where I'm worried too much about... Good. Where I'm worried too much about trying to kite enemies into getting into water. That's like a little bit too... Well, I'm going to be honest, slow. I like playing fast and I like playing loose when it comes to dead cells, and trying to kite enemies in specific areas to try to get some terrain advantage is not really part of that more often than not. But hey, the opportunity presents itself, why not? Like this. Bam, bam, done. In the meantime, what do we got here? I don't want this to happen again where I don't get an upgrade for the entire run until the very end again. So I am going to actually blow a little bit of money, and you know what? This is actually about the point in time that I do want to, yeah, get an enemy. Oh, you kidding me? Are you actually kidding? Okay, I am going to take this. I'm only going to use it to set up poison synergy, though. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm like genuinely perturbed. Because it's as if the game is like, yeah, you sure you don't want to just throw away the entire gimmick of the run? Heard you talking like you didn't want to do this. We can fix that for you. We'll give you an invisibility necklace in the next area as well. But no. Hey, 100% on poison is definitely going to help out, and this is not really the... This is, you know, very much like an old Looney Tunes bit where you got Granny from Sylvester and Tweety throwing piles of cash to warm herself up in the winter. Piles of cash into a fireplace to warm herself up in the winter, but you know, hey. Pearls before swine, I guess. Anyway. Oh, you are killing me, Dead Cells. Let's just keep going here. Smoke bomb? No, I don't want to do smoke bomb. I don't think that is useful in any way to me right now. Like I said, I do have to admit when there are some weapons that are just not for me. And unfortunately, as much as I do like the idea behind smoke bomb, it just does not gel well with the way I play. I mean, that's why you always got to get that caveat emptor when it comes to the start of these runs, knowing that sometimes things are just not going to be good because of me, not because of the actual weapon itself. I don't know. Instinct? I don't necessarily need... You know what? Just take Masochist right now. Make sure that I'm going to be having a nice, easy time when it comes to potentially dealing with, like, a... God, I don't know. Let's say... Challenge rifts, for example. Are you kidding me? So I don't like tactics runs. Might just blow a potion charge here because whatever, we're early enough, doesn't really matter. If only I also got piercing on this as well as poison, that would have been fantastic. Can't always get what you want though. Try sometimes, etc. And hey, getting the food certainly is helping. I don't want to attack these guys with magic missile because that's not really in the spirit of the run. Only if I'm like directly next to them. In other words, if it's in the range of me being able to attack with... Wow, that does not arc down at all, does it? It's like, look at that. It got me. Yeah, if I can attack in the range of the lightning bolt, then I think I can say that it is appropriate to use the magic missile. Aside from that, though, I don't really want to do too much otherwise because, like I said, I'm very dedicated to at least mostly keeping the spirit of the run intact. I'm going to actually re-roll this and see if I can't get you, basically. Or, I don't know, what's the other thing right now? 25% damage next to it? Not bad, not bad. Could be good, might be cool. But for right now, I'm just going to make sure that I'm not going to get killed by any blowgunners. Because, boy, howdy, am I not looking forward to those guys. I forgot again. The thing that drops this, I believe, is Inquisitors. So if you want to harness Zeus's incredible bolts for yourself, I tried to come up with something clever to say there, and I came up with incredible bolts. Go for it. Get yourself into the... any place that has Inquisitors, so anywhere in the game, basically. All right. Maybe it would have also just been worthwhile to open up powers in that previous area and try to maybe get vampirism, get like a tonic before getting out of here, but you know, that's also, Might also be Foggers that drop this. No, I think Foggers drop the very similar sort of Fire Torrent, Fire Blast type ability, which has you planting yourself on the ground, except instead dealing fire and not accidentally killing yourself with it. But probably not as good a damage. I don't know. Well, let me tell you, right now, no? Okay. I was thinking that the blowgunner was going to jump up there, but he decided to choose the abyss. Let's see if I can't get a better one going on here. Yeah. I mean, I'm really, really trying not to take damage with this weapon, but if it happens, it happens. If he dies, he dies. Here we go. And good. We'll don't. Oh, that actually hit the wall. Cool. And hey, some more water usage. Why not? You know, I would actually probably end up taking something like the magnetic grenade, right? I got 60 kills. Wow. This isn't working out too bad. I mean, you kind of have to get that, otherwise you're dead when it comes to tactics, but still. Stop doing... I just said stop making that noise to myself. And then I forgot, I guess. Sure. Okay, okay. So yeah, if you're ever wondering what it would be like to watch me play a horror game, just kind of times that by 1,000. All right. Not too much more left to go in this area just yet. But, I don't know, it's going, all things considered, not terrible. Yeah, I did see, despite the very busy fight that was going on there on screen, I did manage to see the blowgun come in. So that was pretty close shave, but came out of it okay. That said, I still do need to deal with a cursed chest, and I might want to go just like rush that right now instead of to try to get rid of this as fast as possible. Are you kidding me? This is absurd. I don't even know what to think. Anyway. Really? Very scary. Worked out okay. One more. And that'll do it. Okay. Like, seriously? 2 bazookies. That was a really good weapon, but, you know, I don't know if it's necessarily a really good weapon for... I don't think I'm hitting it with the... Whoa, God! And there it is. I was thinking it's like I might be able to duck under it. Didn't quite happen in the way I wanted it to. Well. Yeah, man, there's no way that in this area I'm going to be able to afford a potion charge. I mean, yeah, maybe if I went and, like, looked for every one of the wall runes that I could. But I'm not... You know, like I said, I like playing fast and loose. I'm not going to worry too much about trying to min-max the amount of... Wow. Min-max the amount of money that I'm getting over the course of the run. I should be fine. Especially knowing that I have a... God, that thing's so fast. Okay, there. It's so fast. He's a speedy, speedy boy. Well, you know what I can afford, though? I don't remember if that is a... Are you kidding me? Get out of here, you. Nope. Denied. I don't remember if that is a food shop, but if it is, I can go up and get a chunk of watermelon. Not quite a potion charge, but it is enough to keep me alive for the time being. And in some ways, isn't that Dead Cells in a nutshell. Staying alive for the time being. I cannot tell what it is. I'm gonna come up here. Teleport away, my dude. Okay, okay. The noise, yes, thank God. And I'll take that. Not full health. I am perfectly willing to choose a... I'm perfectly willing to choose to get a... I forgot what I was going to say. Use another potion charge if worse comes to worse in the next boss fight. And that's kind of what I'm worried about more than anything else. Because that's... I'm still pretty green when it comes to going up against this boss. And although I am worried, of course, about every boss fight, I do think that this one is definitely the one to be most worried about. Let's get that 75% damage reduction because the Mama Tick does in fact have a range attack. And not getting killed by that will only be good for me. In the sense that I won't have to do another run, basically. Let's go. Not even going to worry too much about getting anything else. Got the 60 kills. Take another upgrade to anything, really. Even an alternate way to maybe get... better than the flamethrower turret. Because flamethrower turret is great. I do think that it would probably work on the boss with the oil, because oil burns on water. Water has a couple different unique reactions, but yeah, okay. All right. But I think that, hey, this and the electrocutes enemies is, I mean, it fits with the whole electricity run that I'm doing right now. All right. Let's get that owl out and let's get rocking and rolling. Wearing the final outfit that you get from the Mama Tick right now, by the way. Oh yeah, I didn't. Of course. Well, disengagement is going to do me some good, though. And... yeah, we cool? We cool. All right, well... I mean, great. Judge yourself. I mean, I do think that I definitely made some mistakes there and everything, but it wouldn't. I mean, the damage certainly good. Do I? I think I do. I think I would rather have that than continue working with corrupted power. It's not that much better after all. I just knew that if there was a time that the flamethrower turret would fail me, it would be right now, basically. Then, yeah. Just at least 1 point of extra tactics to go. That's all I really need. And then, I'm going to be honest here, I'm going to just... with the healing that I'm having a lot of trouble with right now, I think that it's going to be a lot more useful to get some sort of alternate form of healing rather than continue going at the rate that I am right now. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why am I in the Stilt Village rather than the graveyard? Well, the answer is simple. It was such an unmitigated disaster when I went to the graveyard that I decided to just instead replay the run. I did die, of course. And get back to this area instead. I don't think the lightning bolt is very well suited for that area in particular. So this will hopefully turn out a little bit better. Here, unlimited power, quote Sheev Palpatine circa a long time ago. I haven't seen a Star Wars movie since Attack of the Clones. Oh no, all of my health is gone. There, that's all you missed. Pretty much. Okay. Let's keep going here. I also like that I pretty much did not get hit at all coming in here, and then the second that I started talking again, I lost half of my health. It just shows you, wow. For right now. Just because, to be honest, with the way this run's been going, I might want to use it. But yes. Yeah, it just goes to show you that talking apparently really does take a pretty huge chunk of concentration to get down, doesn't it? Okay. Well, as always, I'm not really going to try to intentionally use the invisibility necklace too much. But worst comes to worst, you know, with the way that the weapon has been going, I gotta tell you, I think that I can give you a little bit of a preview of what the final judgment is going to be on this, and that it's bad. Sorry, lightning bolt. You know I didn't want to do it to you, but I had to. Okay, this should at least get me out of here even faster. It's actually been a run going at a pretty good clip, all things considered. You see, the current time that I got, I was actually able to make the 15-minute door on the boss fight, which is not an easy thing. That was close. Which is not an easy thing to do in a lot of ways. So I'm happy about that, but this is not the lightning run in the way that it's supposed to be greased lightning. At least not intentionally. If it happens to be that way, so be it. No, as it is, I think I'm just going to go... God, this might even be one of those ones where I'm just like, hey, if I beat the giant, that's fine. That's enough. Although one of the things I did forget to get was I had an upgrade to the Barnacle, Sinew Slicer that did poisoning as well as bleed that I did miss out getting, which is unfortunate. It was actually quite a good-looking piece of equipment that I forgot to grab before leaving. I actually think I might not have been able to afford it anyway, but I should have at least checked. Oh well. It's a rare time that you can get that sort of a double whammy of a synergy, and it would really help getting a lot of extra damage out of the non-critical portion of this weapon, which is the thing that I think has really been lacking over the course of this run so far. So yeah, just keep in mind that if you think it's going well, it could be going a lot better. All right. And yeah, I was just keeping an eye out there for... No, that dude had no idea what was going on. Just keeping an eye out there for maybe a little bit of extra... Good. A little bit of extra... bombs, cannonballs that happen to be coming my way. Because you never know. I'm going to get rid of that invisibility right now. And then that's it. Wow. Like less than a minute. Okay, then. Maybe there's more stats I can get, but I've actually been doing okay. 2 kills left to get to the 60. Let's do that first. I've been missing out on a couple easy 60s so far over the course of this. I can at least do this. There we are. Anything else? Nah, I think I'm just gonna go. It's going fine. Grease lightning. Let's go. Maybe I will make that the theme of this now. Never really one to do too much for speedrunning or anything like that in the game. I mean, I think I gave like an attempt. This actually could be good. Maybe freezing keeps enemies away from me a little bit longer. But I mean, do you see how that worked with caltrops? Maybe not. Maybe not so much. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I did kind of give like a little bit of an attempt to try to do some light speed running, but never anything real. And especially with the sort of competition that is out there now, I think that I would be completely outclassed for any sort of speed running attempt that I did. I like to go fast, but I also like to play recklessly, carelessly, die a lot, and then have all of the mistakes that I make get covered up by editing. And I don't really think that a speed run would quite allow me to do that. It would also probably be a lot more, like, you know, really trying to play optimally, which... Well, how is that any different than what I just said, you know? Anywho. As always, it's a numbers game. Getting a little bit of necromancy to work the most for you, especially if you decide to use that without being a survival-based build. But it is something that I do think that is going to be effective more often than it is not going to be effective. As always, I do think glass cannon is the way to go, even though this could probably benefit from a little bit more... little bit more health-focused play is what I'm thinking. But, you know, I'd like to say that speaks for itself. Killing an elite that quickly. Of course, that's not unusual for it. Not unusual for a tactics run in a lot of ways. So maybe it's not as big of a deal as it might seem, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Really, I'm just kind of hoping my disengagement is going to come up any second here. Any second now. Whatever time you want to. 120 seconds, I know, but I got to be getting close to that right now, don't I? Oh, well, 40 kills right now. I should also have a cursed chest coming up here. Should be totally fine. And I do think I am going to end up going for the giant, which might seem like a bad idea because it is, but I want to attempt it anyway. If we're going with speedy, what better way is there to head? None better way. 39, 23. I think I got to go to 39. I just need that extra little boost on top of everything else that's going on here. I'm a little bit panicked as far as making sure that I'm not going to die. As it is, though, as long as I don't accidentally activate this elite a little bit while I'm cursed, basically, should be fine. There we go. And yeah, I am going to end up taking this just because the invisibility, I don't want to use and abuse that too much. We've already had a little bit too much of that as it is with the, you know, even just taking the stuff that I have. Taking that in the first place, and then, of course, also taking the legendary magic missiles, which is a godsend if you can get that just about anywhere else. You know, flashing fans could be something to take in the next fight, but again, it would kind of mess with the whole... Yeah, I think it kind of messes with the whole run, so I'm not going to end up doing it. Okay, then. Let's just make sure that I got my turrets out here in case things are going to take a turn for the worse. Because I can imagine myself getting killed quite quickly by a bat exploding in my face while I think that it's about to get hit by a lightning bolt, but it turns out not to. Okay. See, I'm already back up to about 50% health even after that very, very large hit that I took immediately. Totally fine. 30 tactics, as well as some great turrets on top of that. This is the sort of thing that might be able to just straight up stun lock the giant, because a good tactics run is extremely effective against that guy. It's not something that's always possible to get, but you get the right combination of stuff, and it works out really good. Good. And nope, forget about that. I want to keep a maximum amount of stuff possible. I already got masochism once again, so that will help me survive a little bit. It might even be worth attempting to take the support mutation just for a little bit of extra damage on top of everything else. Not that I necessarily need it, but I mean, that's the sort of thing that could be the difference between life and death in case I find myself in a bad situation, you know, about to get hit, if only I had the slightest bit of extra DPS. Which can happen, especially with the giant's hands. That sort of like DPS race part of it. Avoid getting punched, avoid getting a lot of stuff as long as you can... It's really just trying to avoid getting his big attacks out. But, you know, even small attacks are interrupted by the phase change. Is what I'm saying. All right. Just get everything in the water here. Freaking. This is like the first time that I held that a little bit too long over the course of the run. And it was like in the worst circumstance possible. Ain't that always how it seems to go? Oh well. One potion charge, not the worst. I mean, I always say, you know, you're working with tactics. You can only use so many potion charges after you get disengagement working and everything. And by the way, if you are wondering, the lightning bolt goes through disengagement. It goes through, it will activate curses. That you really can't, it really is a very comprehensive source of damage due to the fact that it is, you know, anything? Nah, nothing as good as I've seen before. Although, maybe I'll give a roll here. Generates Toxic Cloud. I mean, yeah, it's better than this. It'll probably also be a little bit more effective in the upcoming fight because of the fact that it'll stay on the ground. It will get swept off with the punches, but that's fine. I mean, I'll be the one rolling with the punches because I'm a government man. All right. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. And then I'm just going to mosey on out of here and hopefully have a good giant fight. I mean, any fight can go very much in your favor or very much against you when it comes to Dead Cells. This is certainly no exception. I guess I might be able to get like a legendary version of... Oh, well, I would say... let's make sure that I'm not missing out on any stats. Since I do have that active now. No, not really. But yeah, there's also that assault shield over there. I might have been able to get a legendary version of that, but I don't really think that's... Maybe in the Hand of the King fight. That's the only thing... That's the only place where I would even consider taking that. All right, all right. Well, that's okay. It's actually quite good, but I think it's not going to work out super well against the giant, so... I think I got to take the 75% damage reduction. And I also should probably wait for... Okay, disengagement is back up. Good. That's what I need. That's all I need. God, I can only hope this works out well for me. Otherwise, it's another split in the recording now, isn't it? Oh, hey, did you think that I was going to the Guardian's Haven? Yeah, well, it turns out it's the... Not that. Okay, 3. Yep, that works. All right, did I get poison on there? Good. Oh, man. Yeah. All right, it's the next day and also post-commentary because for at least the start, the first 3 minutes, I think, of this final run, I wanted to make absolutely sure that I was as concentrated as I possibly could be on gameplay for the boss and the start of the castle. Because I'm sure you probably picked up on this, but the Lightning Bolt run hasn't been going great so far, especially with plays like that. Tactics runs are all about outranging your enemies, but it's also about trying to keep mobile enough so that you can continue to outrange your enemies. Locking yourself in place like that to use the Lightning Bolt really does put a hamper on that. And although this fight went, well, certainly a lot better than the giant fight, it was still pretty rough one to do. And I'd like to say that the turrets did a lot of the heavy lifting, as well as the poison synergy that I got with my legendary bow. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess I'm just going to have to say Lightning Bolt, not all that good. Maybe I'm just playing particularly badly today, or, well, in the past few days. But, yeah. It's unfortunate. But hey. Minus 25% damage, I guess that's probably why I was able to take a full Gulf swing to the face and not have disengagement proc, because that's an unexpected type of thing. I would have thought that wasn't even possible when it came to doing a tactics run on 5-cell mode, but I guess with just a little bit of damage reduction, you can make it work. So yeah, I do think that the best way to end up using Lightning Bolt is probably with some form of freezing, or, as I'm about to do right here, the Wolf Trap. It's just something to keep enemies in place and make sure that as you're outranging them, they're not going to be able to attack you most of the time. I mean, I was thinking about getting rid of Flamethrower Turret, but the damage reduction, as well as the damage increase, and damage over time works pretty well with Wolf Trap. So I actually ended up taking out the double crossbow-matic, because overall, not only does it work a little bit better... Wow, I cannot believe I didn't get hit by the fireballs there. I think even at the time I was like, I was just frozen in place because I was expecting to die right there. Somehow it didn't happen. Oh, not that stopped me from playing any better. Nah, I think that it was just like a little bit of impatience of just wanting, like, oh, let's get this run over with already. Hate this weapon. Was kind of what I was feeling at this point than anything else, and that was affecting gameplay a little bit, I will admit. Ah, well. At least, if I can... No, demons are terrible here. Demons are terrible here. Rampages are terrible here. The Royal Guards? Oh, you better believe they're terrible. I was not even planning to get all 3 keys if I possibly could. I just wanted to get out of here as fast as possible. This is not only a bad place for these weapons, but it's also very large and sprawling and chock-a-block full of dudes to be fighting, so... Tried to avoid as many confrontations as possible. Did not happen in the way I wanted to. Anyway, back into live mode now. Oh my god, this is absurd. Ah! Elite versions of these guys are very scary, aren't they? As much as I do want, like, a legendary item, I don't think I really want to go fight this dude. Alright, anyway. Yeah, no, I think, maybe what I can do is I can try to goad him into... Maybe I can go and try to goad him into getting into the blood over there or something. I have no idea. A lot of tricky stuff going on. I'll just say that. Good. Grab that too. And then, yeah, just keep going. Just, oh my god, the amount of times that I'm nearly... just a hair's breadth away from dying is... yeah, too much. Too much. Okay, well, I can still go get the key in the tracker area if I just go find if I just go find the other entrance into that place, because that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Alright, alright. Nope. Nope again. And then, yeah, here we go. Perfect. I think I might even be able to deal a decent amount of damage to the Royal Guard, too, if I possibly can make that happen. Just from kind of like standing on the edge and attacking this dude. There we go. That actually kind of worked. Surprisingly, really. No, I think that would maybe go against the general type of build that I've been working with right now, once again, which has been something of a concern of mine this entire time. But I want to say it's not an unreasonable thing to be concerned about. Oh god, just get away from the yeah, freaking. Is there any way? I mean, I can make this work. I can make this work. I can make this work a little bit. Yeah, that was okay. It was not okay. It was barely functional. The problem is that I can't really stop to fight these enemies because of how the weapon works, which has kind of been maybe screwing me up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Because, you know, you can't just sit still in a... Are you kidding me? There. Can't really just sit still in a lot of these fights, after all. Okay, okay, hey. At least I can get to this point. And all I need to do is just kind of get him still. Works out fine. I think Wolf Draft is definitely the way to go for the time being. It's not the most effective, but between the lightning and the fire, I think I should be fine. I don't know. Either way, I can leave now, so I think I will exercise that right. Oh, also, just... Oh. If I got hit by one more Rampager there, that would have been the end. After all, I don't have my disengagement up. This is ridiculous. Anyway, we done now? We good? Any other twists or turns you want to throw at me before I can continue on here? No? Good. Definitely got to watch out for those guys. I guess I could go for all 3 keys right now if I so wanted to, but I think the... Yeah. Here, let's see how difficult the area is. Take a little bit of a look, and if it's too difficult, then I can peace round right on out. This isn't too bad so far. No, I can deal with this. Again, so far. All right. Much like a lot of Tactics weaponry, takes him down pretty quickly. Okay. Now then. At least I do get 1 extra stat here, but that's only cold comfort is the way I'd put it, because I would not be betting on me at this point, is what I would say. All right. Anything else of interest before I leave? You know, maybe the magnetic grenade could be of interest, but I want to say the 25% damage, plus damage, etc., and so on that I'm getting from my turret currently, a little bit better. A little bit more useful. And, you know, I don't even need the money for anything right now, so, yeah. All right, I'm thinking right now I might actually want to switch out the support for Masochist, because I might get pushed into the pit while trying to use the lightning bolt. But at the same time, I don't really think that matters too much. No. This is about as good as it's going to get. Win or lose, I'm calling it here. All right. Okay. First phase done. But 2 more phases to go. I mean, I could try to get that zombie to fall on top of the hand of the king, but that's also like, maybe don't want to try that. I'm fighting a lacerator? What? Okay, I thought so. Okay. Yes, thankfully not done his smaller... Of course it was getting hit by using the... So I thought I could have ended the fight fast enough. Okay, well, hey. Let's just call that one successful and, like... yeah. I don't know. I guess going into the 5-cell area, I think that the way that I'm going to approach this is... Oh, was that the only hit that I took in the fight, by the way, from my own weapon? I think it might have been. I am maybe a little bit frustrated about that, but yes, I'm going to take something to do healing, so necromancy. Disengagement, I think, is just too essential to drop at this point in time, so it's kind of in here for the long haul now, isn't it? Yeah. Lightning bolt. There's my review of the weapon. Okay, well. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just gonna see how this one goes at this point in time, because... You know what? It's successful. I was honestly thinking that I was going to get totally moidalized there, and yet it did not happen. So, hey. That's cool. And the unfortunate thing is that even if I did have enough... Cool. Enough money to afford, like, a potion from food shop in here, I would not... No, I mean, there's no way I could possibly have enough, is what I was saying. I hate you. Hate you. Why are you doing this to me? The game wants to see me suffer now. We gave you all the advantages. Why did you squander them so? Legendary magical missiles? Invisibility necklaces? Everything. Well, if you want to play hardball. Hardball it is. Oh, there's that glitch. Damn, dude. Well, okay, I can afford at least a piece of watermelon, which will do me good, but is still honestly frustrating. I guess, you know, hey, worst comes to worst, I would rather have that than nothing. I hate you. Okay, anyway, I hate those things. Oh, man. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I really was hoping a lot. I was really hoping that it's like the sort of change-up that they had to Lightning Bolt would have ended up being that it was just much more powerful and would be a really great tactics-based weapon at this point in time, but just... oh. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know why I didn't see that coming, but still. Give me the elevator key. And then I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to go buy the chunk of watermelon. Yeah, it's still the... Ultimately, I think the problem with this weapon lies in just how difficult it is to use. The risk-reward system of this is just always ends with a little bit too much risk, not enough reward. Come on now. Fine, we'll just do this then. Not quite what I meant to do, but this is an unusual circumstance that I found myself in. The Magistrates of Death are usually not that threatening. At least when I fight them. Okay. Well, at least I should be up to full health. Alien key. Get that thing right now. And then, let's see what happens right at the end here. I don't know. If I can pull out a win on this, that would be, honestly, a pretty big feather in the cap now, wouldn't it? Despite all that has gone wrong. However, like I said, I'm going to couch these expectations right now. I do not think that it is going to happen. Okay, a little bit of extra stats. I'll take them. Oh, double trouble? That's honestly quite bad. Ah! Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to heal up from this easy enough. Anything? I mean, I guess... I mean, it would be okay, but... Yeah, having two of those fights at once was really the thing that caused me problems there. That's to be expected, though. I do want to point out the Magistrate of Death there, which was pretty funny looking, but also I was about to die. Oh man, just kill me right now. No. I'm gonna see this out to the end. Okay. Good. Necromancy is still working in my favor, by the way, so it's not the worst thing. It's just, there's another double trouble coming. I'm not looking too good. Good. Hey, that's at least something. Not only protection-wise, but also a lot of extra stats on top of it. 75% damage reduction on projectiles, though, is maybe the more important bit than anything else. Oh, sure. I don't think I'm going to get usage out of it, but I will take it nonetheless. Can't even get, like, extended healing for the final boss fight. Ah! And that's good. Yep, this is end. Yep, as soon as I saw that librarian up there, I was just like, ugh.